a course in law, I will go to the law school rather than anywhere else, because those courses in a multidisciplinary university, the courses are already being offered. It is only that now, along with students who are doing engineering, you would also have students who are doing commerce or who are doing management or who are doing dental education. Everybody is going to be part of that. So there is a better diversity within the class also. So I think these are some of the salient features of the shift that we are going to see. It talks about experiential education. Now, I've been working on this kind of a model even before this policy came. We have been at Rishihood, we have been promoting this whole idea of multiple exits. And I've been doing this for the last 10, 12 years before the policy was thought about. That after 1 year you give a certificate, after 2 years you give a diploma, and after 3 years you get a certificate, a degree. And the student has the right to exit and enter where they finished. I think that's a great move. I'm saying this, and I'm very clear. I'm saying this because this is what I've been trying to do, and finally it is here. So I'm really, really pleased that it's there. I have pushed the idea for the last 15 years, even to question the concept of examinations. I have personally been against the idea of giving a fail grade to a student. I don't think that students need to fail. Students only need to complete the course with a grade, or they have not completed the course. Why do we have to say that they have failed? Because once you put an F grade for a student, he fails for life. And I don't think that's a fair system. So it's okay to grade them A, B, C, D, whatever you want to, and an I, which is an incomplete. You haven't finished the course, so you need to do it again. It has the same purpose, right? So finally, I think the evaluation systems are bound to change now, because in an experiential learning model, students have to do things. It is learning by doing things, and this is what we are doing at Rishihood University. Our approach is that 20% of the learning should come from hearing things. 30% of the learning should come from seeing things, or seeing. So it's a video class that is going on, or it's a industrial trip that is going on. So where the power of learning is coming from the vision, sight, seeing, and 50% of the learning should come from doing things. So this is what we call the principle of 20, 30, 50. So 20% of lectures, 30% of lectures are listening, learning by hearing, then 30% learning by seeing, and 50% is learning by actually doing things. That's what experiential is, right? Where students are on the driver's seat. They determine the whole learning process. It's very similar to you don't learn bicycle by reading a book. When you have to ride a bicycle, you need to sit on the bicycle and you need to fall a couple of times and you learn. But you also would understand that once you do go through that process, you don't need to memorize it. Even after 10 years, you may wobble once, but you will be able to ride the bicycle because there is no memory involved. It's an experience. And that's what experiential learning is, that the process is very, very clearly defined, that our objective in experiential learning is to move the student from a system of dependent memory to a system of independent thinking and problem solving. That's what it is, which is unique with this policy.
Sir, what some stakeholders primarily students, parents at this point of time, especially in this time when everything is really so much uncertain. Uh, People are really asking the question, which is when is it likely to be executed, or what are the possible timelines that we're looking at?
Yeah. Okay. I feel that, when you start something new, it's easy to start it and it's faster to implement. When you have something existing for 70 years and you need to change that, then the process is much longer because you don't want to destabilize everything. Uh, so the speed has to be such that the process is continuous over a period of time. I feel that we should fairly look for about 15 years range for the whole process to be more or less well established, fully operational. Uh, because, as I said, that it also requires a structural change, right? So now we have, for example, in higher education, we are classifying institutions into 3 categories now, right? Now, but right now we have too many categories. So we also have to find how are we going to shut down all of them, because in a category that will not exist, we already have students. And some of these students will be there for 3-4 years. So we need to be very careful that we allow those students to graduate, pass through this process, and then start shutting them down. For example, if you look at B.Ed colleges, standalone, autonomous, single discipline colleges. Now, the policy clearly says that single discipline colleges will not be permitted to continue. But we will have to give them time to shut down, because the careers of so many students are going to be at stake. So we can't decide as a policy that from tomorrow, these colleges are closed. So even for that process to happen, it will take at least 3 to 4 years, depending on which area it is. It is the process of implementation becomes lengthy because of these kind of technical issues that will come. Also, in the categorization of the institutions, for example, it may be very easy for St. Stephen's College to say tomorrow that, okay, they want to be autonomous, and probably they'll meet the standards that is required to be an autonomous college, not affiliated to Delhi University. But the same may not be true to all the colleges which are affiliated to universities. Some of them may not be able to meet the standards to become an autonomous college in the 3rd category. So they may continue to still be affiliated for some time till that process of capacity building happens and they are ready to move into the next category. So I think we'll all have to go through this classification. For example, deemed universities. What are we going to do with? In the new policy, there is no place for deemed universities. All of them become universities, right? So where are they going to be? Are they going to be in the 1st category? Or are they going to be in the 2nd category of deemed universities? So I think implementation is going to be a long drawn process. But I always feel that whenever any reforms happen, the most important reform that needs to happen is a reform in the mindset of the people. And that's very, very important. Implementation on paper is a different thing. Implementation in the minds of the teachers, the students, the administrators, the government, the policy makers, that's equally important. And I think there is a lot of excitement about this policy, even though I have some reservations also, but I think overall, I would say a thumbs up for this policy. And we will go through a phased implementation, which is also the desirable way to do it. Otherwise we can too quick an implementation can actually become